I was there. I don't have to listen to it.
When you live in a beach resort, it's easy to forget whether you are playing or working. On each week's show, we settle in with a cocktail and try to figure out if there is a difference. This is Day Drinking on Delmarva.
I am Todd from GoodCleanFunLife.com.
And I'm Tony Russo, no relation, and we're here at the Barrel Room in Bethany Blues in Bethany Beach, Delaware.
Nailed it.
Got it nailed now. It's almost not worth it's almost not worth commenting upon, but if you didn't say something, then I'd be like, oh, did I get it wrong?
Yeah.
All sorts of fun stuff to get to this week. We have one cool thing coming up, and we also have the topic for today is summer. When the clock is ticking on summer, don't ruin it by noticing, I guess is the best way to put it. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about the beverage. And so this week we also have draft beer. Because of timing reasons, sometimes it's easier to just get something on draft, but I promise we'll have something interesting before too long.
I kind of like that. So Day Drinking on Delmarva,
right.
You know, these first couple episodes, we've started with things we don't normally do.
Yes.
Like if it was just us having bourbon every week, I think that would get...
Oh, it would get... No,
it'd be awesome for us.
Yes, but... Well, and also we don't get to talk about, like...
Different...
Well, and things we don't like. Like, this is...
This is one of those things.
This is another thing that another beer that I'm not a huge fan of.
Right.
Some people like them. I'm not one of them. Mm-hmm. But I have a fun story about it. So what are we drinking?
I have a fun story, too. We are drinking Stella Artois.
Artois.
And it's served here at Bethany Blues in the fancy glass with the gold rim. I asked Puff if he had the knife to scrape the head. He does not.
That's unfortunate.
He offered a popsicle stick, but I said that's not quite the same.
No, we just let it fizz out on its own. What's interesting about Stella is at the beginning of this summer they put out plastic ones. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I did not see that.
They put out like solo cup style red plastic Stella, and there was like a contest. They had like 1,000 glasses available or something, and the first 1,000 people got these. It's just a regular looking Stella glass, except plastic, red plastic.
Red plastic.
Because like solo cups, like
yep.
Up your game. I'm like you don't
weird.
ever up your game in plastic, and also you don't ever up your game with
nobody who's drinking out of a red solo cup wants to up their game, right? And that's kind of the point.
Yeah,
unless they're getting a Yeti cooler to put their natural lights in.
So earlier this week, I saw a tweet, and it said, back in 2019, everyone hated each other, and everyone was very, very concerned about how they could make the best cooler.
Oh, I have a story about that too.
That's fine.
That's gonna blow your mind. But on Stella, my quick story about this is Natalie this has been a good summer beer for her. When we're in Delaware, she likes to order the mango cart, and I got to say that I'm on board with that as a good light summer beer session when you're out at the Starboard or or spending some time.
I'm sorry, did you say mango cart?
Mango Cart by Golden Road.
Not familiar, but I get it.
It's a wheat mango. It's good. Yeah, you
not my beers. That's okay.
Drink what you like and be happy,
Absolutely.
Tony. And that makes Natalie happy. When absent that, in Maryland, for some reason we can't get it. She's been drinking Stella. And we had a little fun day. We were down in Ocean City. We were down at one of our favorite spots, the Bearded Clam, down on Wicomico Street, and they have Stella on tap. And I ordered one for me and Natalie. It was just easy, and it started a conversation about how much of a douche you could be by ordering a Stella, even by simply saying I'll have a Stella Artois, like announcing the whole thing.
It's very high. First of all, it's an awful bar. I mean, I know I've been there myself.
It's
awesome. Just for anyone who didn't get the cue by it being called the Bearded Clam or by being on the boardwalk in Ocean City, it's also a shithole.
It's a lovely family-owned shithole.
Yes, it's a family-friendly Ocean City with the vagina name. Very, very classy. But the thing about Stella is also there was this thing about Heineken similarly, and this is probably in the 80s, I guess.
Right.
When it was like that was like the high end beer. Like I'm better than all you scum. I hope you have Heineken for me.
Right.
And they would. And Stella is the same beer, really.
It is.
But also it's a little less skunky, but it's also that kind of, it's got that like
pretentious.
it's not a craft beer in that way. I mean,
No.
I think it might be owned by Budweiser or by Heineken.
Right.
It's not its own beer, I don't think. But what's interesting about it is that it's like premium in the way that Heineken is premium, and
Right.
the way like they'll
Before
have,
there was craft beer, there
were beers like this, and one of the things that's
European beers.
exactly, and these will be called imports, right? So it'll be like, so on a menu it would say, not that there's a menu at the Bearded Clam, but if there were, on the beer menu it would say domestic, craft, imported,
Right.
And this would be imported, which is
Yeah.
even snobbier than craft, especially at the Bearded Clam.
Right. So do you think that craft in its inherent snobbiness has overtaken import in today's kind of...
No, because there's something.
You sound snobby.
People want to defend the fact that they don't drink craft beer.
Right.
Nobody wants to defend the fact that they don't drink imported beer. Like
Right.
I don't like it. But
Some
if you-
people
if-
probably do down on the boardwalk.
But with a craft beer, like it used to be like I can't drink that craft's garbage, and now almost everybody's like, you know what, I tried it, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
But no one's like, I can't believe you drink craft beer. Like that's how it was a decade ago. Like,
Right.
why are you drinking that? And no one would say. They would still say, why are you drinking that to Stella or Heineken or like that's
Right.
You know. But my sister-in-law drinks Stella. It's her favorite beer. And,
Yeah.
and she's a nice person anyway. So.
And you had mentioned when I surprised you with this, because I did surprise you with
Right.
this, as I did the White Claws.
Right. It's better than White Claw.
So nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
You mentioned that now you know two people that you like.
Right. two people that I don't judge for drinking Stella. I mean, I've had it before. My brother's youngest daughter, her name is Stella. So the first time I went to visit them, we get the Stella beer. I mean, how can you not?
Right.
And so what's the other thing is that they do have this kind of branded thing, like Boston Beer tried it, like Samuel Adams tried to have like their Samuel Adams glass, but they didn't really fly. But the Stella
glass.
You see the Stella glass come out, and you know what
Right.
it is.
Is this is it a bigger pour too? Is this a 16 ounce?
A gun in my head, I would say this is a 20-ounce pour, and I believe you'll see there's a marking on it.
Somewhere. Where's this? Yeah, there's a
Okay, and so
underneath. So
in
that's the
in places where people aren't always afraid of getting ripped off, a pint is still 16 ounces.
Right.
But they don't level it off at 16 ounces. They'll pour you 20. 16 ounces of beer, 4 ounces of foam, and that's
so that's where the line on the glass is supposed to be where,
that's
the,
where
beer
the beer
ends.
stops. But again, this is America, and I'll bet you $1 that the bartender just fills it up to the very, very top
yeah.
because he doesn't want to hear you shortchanged me on my beer. It's embarrassing. And also the other thing that you have to appreciate about Stella is that they do have their own glasses instead of what are called the shaker glasses, which are what people commonly think of as pint glasses.
Right.
And they're straight sided, and they don't let the beer bounce around or anything interesting like that. They're really supposed to be for shaking.
Oh, right.
For
Yeah.
shaking mixed drinks.
Yeah.
But it's just if you have interesting glasses, people will steal them.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Like,
And you can't stack these.
no, you can hang them.
Right.
But I think it's more the stealing than the stack.
Yeah.
Because if you have a really cool glass, it's not going to make it through a Friday night.
Should we steal these?
No.
That will be a topic for another.
Yeah. Well, we do have. Yeah.
That right?
I do have rules about. I have shoplifting rules. But we'll go over that at a future date. There are places where I will and will not shop. But stealing is different from shoplifting. Like if you see a glass and you steal it, I think that's fine.
Yeah. That's one of your rules.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There are so few places that have the cool glasses. I mean, if they're for sale, then buy one. But if it's just like, I have this cool glass,
Right.
I'm taking it with me.
Yep.
Stop me. Call the police.
Thanks.
Big fan of calling the police. So anyway, so we're drinking Stella, and it's fine. And as Todd was saying earlier, it's a good summer drink. So this summer, my beer of the summer was Founder's Solid Gold.
Oh, okay.
Which is maybe my new favorite beer of all time.
Wow.
It is beer flavored
Beer.
You can get a 15 pack for $20, and you drink it like water. We redid our whole backyard this year, so on a Saturday I'd go through 12 of them, but over the course of 6 hours of work.
And you're sweating it all out.
Yeah. It's really, really, really good. I mean, it's not going to win any awards except the award that I'm awarding, which is beer flavored beer, just occasionally. Something that's not hazy, something that's not sour.
So here's something that I put to you in an email when we were doing the show notes, and I'm going to bring it up, and maybe we can even just we'll work through it if anybody wants to comment, because people comment on our stuff all the time. I roll. We should come up with like some sort of rating system for the drinks that we're having.
Right.
Because it's day drinking on Delmarva, and we're going to have a different drink each week. And we need to know, like, drinkability, the cultural impact.
I feel like this. I feel like if you have to, if you're thirsty, if you have the money, whether or not you have the money.
I got you.
And at all costs.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
All right, I'll drink this. If I come to your house and you're serving this, I'm not going to say a word about it. I'm just going to drink it.
Right.
I wouldn't order it, but given that I was given it, I would not drink it. I've had the last White Claw in my life. If someone walks over to me and pops it and hands it to me, I'll be like, "Do you need me to water your plants? 'Cause I can't have another one of these." Yeah. I was just
one is all.
Oh, and thank you for bringing that up, because we do have a little bit of a correction. Last episode, I accused my gay brother and his gay boyfriend of bringing the White Claw, and that was because my wife's gay boyfriend left White Claw in my refrigerator, so I thought that it was like a gay thing. But it turns out my cop brother's girlfriend was the White Claw person. So she was the culprit.
It's correction.
Yeah, corrections department. There's something else. I'll correct it next week. Hopefully I'll do a better job of keeping notes.
Yeah.
But we're going to go from that to one cool thing. Have you thought of one cool thing to talk about this week?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So I realized I realized something about myself. And we've done made a career out of going out and spending time in bars and restaurants.
Right.
And I'm very fortunate to have had that happen.
Right.
But really, my intoxicant is people. You know? And so the realization of this, and the cool thing that brought me to the realization of this, is we were at the employee party for the Starboard, which I've mentioned every year is one of the coolest things, because middle of summer, shut down a restaurant. Sure, it's on a Monday, but shut down the restaurant and bring everybody down to a different restaurant here in Ocean City or down in Ocean City at Fager's, and, you know, like it's top shelf all night.
This could also be a different topic if we have to revisit it, but I find it hard to say something's classy without sounding like I'm making fun of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that is a class move.
It is a class move.
Move.
Class move is different than classy.
Oh, I see. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that's a class move.
Yeah. So we've done a really good job of moderating all summer long, because we got a lot of work and we do a lot of things. So I'm 3 beers in, and you know, people that I've known for 5 years now and gotten really close with, and there's a lot of superlatives that were handed out, and we were just having a good old time. And one of the guys, he's a younger guy, but noticed the gray hair. He got a superlative, and he likes to date young girls, so they gave him Just for Men as like a joke. So me and a couple of the guys and girls are just sitting around talking, and I decided that, I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? You should do it. I would do it. And somebody took me up on that. So at the bar at Fager's, we dyed my hair medium brown, not on the sides.
I was gonna say,
we were going we were going just for the top.
All right.
With Just for Men.
Todd's wearing a hat and he has gray hair coming out from under it. So
you're like, I don't think
Just for Men doesn't work.
So 2 beers in, 3 beers in. With some friends, just having a good time and being silly, you know, is it doesn't get much cooler than that for me.
Just to hang around and do this thing. On our photo from the White Claw episode, which we can call it now, I realized how uncomfortably old I look, because I had my hat on and all I have is and I'm 4 weeks past my haircut, so I had.
I like it shaggy though.
Yeah, it becomes me.
Right.
It does not flatter me.
There is a difference.
My one cool thing this week was over the summer. I told you I was working on my backyard, and we have goldfish now.
Oh, cool.
I bought 7 koi.
Okay.
And 30 feeder fish, because the last time I bought koi, something ate them. So I'm like, okay, so I'll get feeder fish, which are like 10 cents a piece, and then I'll get a bunch of koi, and then while they're eating the feeder fish, the koi will grow over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. The koi will get big, the feeder fish will get ate.
So it's going to be easier to eat the feeder fish for
they're easier to find.
Whatever the predator is.
Right. Different predator maybe this time, because I have 40 fish in my pond. And the goldfish have gone from feeders to being
are they big?
3 inches long.
Yeah.
They're huge now.
Yeah.
And so now we've decided that we have to start naming them. So the water's a little cloudy, but we have such pleasure. My wife and I will go out in the morning, have a cup of coffee, see which fish we can identify, and now we've started to name them.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fun. We do spend a lot more time in the backyard just looking at the fish. Everyone else thinks we're nuts.
Yeah.
Right. And so all the fish have names. But as part of this practice, we also do it in the evening. And a couple of evenings ago, we had a hedgehog wander through our yard.
Oh.
Just like boop, 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 boop. And so the hedgehog comes through, and then he starts showing up. He's coming to the watering hole. So now we have like Wild Kingdom going on there.
You mean there are hedgehogs in the wild? They're not just that.
I think someone
At
brought
toy
it
stores?
home, and their mom was like, "Oh, I think your hedgehog ran away," because they're not. I don't believe they're native to America or certainly to Delmarva. But anyway, so my wife had a friend who raises hedgehogs, so we were able to capture and put this hedgehog in a good home. Because I'm like, all right, well, I don't want it dead,
Right.
but I don't want to have a hedgehog. So we named it Eduardo for 2 days, and then someone came and took it. It was gone for 15 minutes. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I do want a hedgehog.
I miss Eduardo.
But it is cool. I make fun of the countryness of here a lot.
Yeah.
But it is cool to have like, oh yeah, no, my buddy has a chinchilla ranch and he has hedgehogs as well. He'll come get it. Like, that's something that wouldn't have happened to me in Jersey in a million years.
Right.
Like I said, you out of your mind.
Right.
We don't keep wild animals in the house besides dogs. Maybe.
We failed to mention that your koi pond is actually just a kiddie pool above ground.
My koi pond is actually pretty extensive. It's maybe 15 feet long and maybe 6 feet wide.
That's awesome.
It's maybe 3-4 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can keep updating you, but we know one koi died and 2 goldfish died. But now we're trying to figure out which fish are which.
Right.
So we thought that
Are
we could
they
name
all
them.
the same size, or
They're
are
not the same size, nor are they the same color.
Yeah.
But we just can't keep.
Yeah.
There are a lot.
There are a lot. We got a lot
I
of
didn't think
fish.
we'd have 40 fish. I was trying to buy 7, and
Right.
I ended up with 40. So, but the cool thing was being able to call a local guy who has a hedgehog farm. Who'd have thunk it?
There you go.
All right. And kind of along those lines, vaguely along those lines, barely along those lines, today what we're going to talk about is as summer comes to an end, or as anything comes to an end, but we find it down here a lot. There's like, sometimes people feel like they're under pressure to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, the week before school, it's like, okay, we're going to fish for 12 hours, and we're going to swim for 3 hours, and then we're going to fish for 5 hours, and then we're going to sleep for 15 minutes, and then we're going to do it again. Like,
Right.
how much fishing and jerking around can I do?
Yeah.
Like, there aren't enough hours in a day. We spent all summer getting up late. We missed all the fishing. Like, there are still fish left in the ocean. There's still beaches left unattended. All
Right.
of those things.
Still beers to be had.
Exactly. And trying to think about how you can enjoy it without being a jerk about it.
Well, so what happens to a lot of people down in this area, and in particular the people that we work with who are in the service industry, it's exhausting. By the end of July, you are out of gas. And a lot of it is those people who are trying to squeeze that summer fun into 1 week, and they're, hell bent on it, and not going to let anybody else get in their way of them having you're going to have a good time, damn it.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. And so it's difficult. In fact, some of the guys up at the Starboard have coined it Angry August.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And it's, it's just kind of like everybody's a little pissy,
Yeah, a little head up.
Right.
My wife says head up.
Head up.
Yeah, HET.
Huh. But I've proposed it before because we used to take our vacation like first thing in June, middle of June, as soon as first thing after the schools let out. I'm like, all right, well then by 4th of July, summer's essentially over.
Right.
Like all the big events are before that. But you'd pointed out, I can't remember if we talked about it on this show in particular, but that you look back at the movie Jaws,
right.
and like 4th of July is really the kickoff of summer.
That's when yeah.
So here we are to beginning of August it's like dead smack middle.
Right. And schools getting ready to go back in, which is a problem for some people. Only a problem for me for 4 more years. Thank you very much. But learning to just remember that you're trying to enjoy yourself.
Right.
And like I think of it like drinking a little bit. Yeah. I'm always amazed to this day, people who have a couple drinks and they want to fight.
Right.
Boggles my mind.
Right.
If drinking makes you mad, don't do it.
Right.
Right? If going on vacation makes you mad, don't do it. That's like here's $4,000. I want to be outraged for 7 days.
Right.
No, just have.
Oh yeah.
But learning to let go, especially one of the things that may be very hard for you to believe, but like sometimes I have like, all right, I want to do this, and this. Like I have a plan, and I'm not good at planning, so my plans always fall through.
Right.
But I have things that I want to do, and I can feel myself getting tense about, all right, now I'm not doing what I said I was going to do. I spent all morning reading this book and it was very relaxing, but now I didn't get to kayak.
Right.
Or I spent all morning kayaking and now I didn't get to go fishing or whatever it is.
Yep.
Because we want to pack our days with quote fun unquote, but the packing takes the fun out of it.
Yes.
And
planned spontaneity.
Yes, I'd like to get this done. So one of the things that my wife and I have started to try to do is, okay, we're going to do one thing, one cool thing, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do one thing and maybe other things.
Yeah.
Like we want to go, we went to D.C. 4 times to see the National Gallery. We made it to the National Gallery once.
Yeah.
But it was always like, well, we'll do this, we'll go to the National Gallery. And then we did this and we're like, let's go back to the hotel, take a nap.
Yeah.
You know? So giving yourself permission to not get everything on your list done is critical. And I see it's a men and women thing. Dads and moms get mad in different ways.
Yes.
But you can see, like, I just wanted to sit and watch the game. I just wanted to not do anything. Yeah, but we said we'd take the kids to the amusement park or whatever. And don't kid yourself before you go. Like, once you're in it, you're in it. That's where anger comes from.
Yeah.
So I think that the trick is to not kid yourself before you go and to
is the know your limits.
Right.
The maintaining a healthy presence in the moment is the ticket, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if you're thinking about what you're trying to squeeze in, or you're thinking about, all right, in 2 weeks school's starting, and you start getting ahead of yourself. That's
what you feel
that's
the
no
pressure.
fun out. Yeah.
And being able to relieve yourself of that pressure is critical. One of the things that I was so I mentioned last week I visited Atlanta recently.
Yes.
This is my second trip to Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is the second year in a row that I forgot to have a Coke with peanuts in it. And it drives my friend bananas.
It's like, oh.
Do you know that that's a thing?
No, I had no idea that's a thing.
So in Georgia particularly, in the South, they put like cocktail peanuts or dry roasted peanuts, some sort of peanuts. I think cocktail peanuts.
Yeah.
In their Coca-Cola. And it changes the flavor of it.
Like to drink it?
Yeah, and they drink the Coke and then eat the peanuts as they come out with baffling, right?
That's weird.
Right. And now what my
And I feel like it's weird that I've just learned that.
look it up. I mean, it's a real thing. I'm not gaslighting no one. But what's interesting is it drives my friend berserk that I want to do it. He's like, it's the same Coke, right?
Right.
It's the same Coke. It's the same Lance's peanuts or whatever. It's not different. I'm like,
Right.
I feel like I have to. I feel like it's an Atlanta experience.
But you have to do it in Atlanta. Something about the heat and the humidity and
I mean, we were I talking before we got on. Also, the freshness of the like. I think a Coke in Atlanta is probably fresher than a Coke in
here.
I mean, I passed Coca-Cola Boulevard. Like that's where they make it. You can go to the. That's what I thought I'd like to do. To go to the Coca-Cola Museum and have a peanut infused Coke. It's bananas, isn't it?
Right.
And this is the kind of thing where you make a plan and then it makes you angry.
Right.
I want to just leave right now and go and get a Coke and some peanuts, but I already kind of publicly in my mind stated that I wanted to try it in Georgia first.
Right.
So now I have to wait till I go back to Atlanta.
So, yeah.
Even though I don't go in and out of a convenience store without seeing both a bottle of Coke
And Planters peanuts.
and plenty of peanuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Meh.
and when you set these arbitrary, sometimes it's fun to set arbitrary goals for yourself and to see if you make them or not.
Right.
We've done a couple road trips where we're arbitrarily going here to do this. Why? There's no why.
Right.
Sometimes it's cool that there's no why. But if the why is because I want to do it desperately, it's not going to be any fun.
Yeah.
You're gonna take the fun out of it for yourself. And
You know that it's funny. I'm lucky that Natalie's quite the planner, right? And I fancy myself as somebody who's go with the flow and whatever. But so there's not a whole lot of headspace that's taken up with what's going
what am
to
I going to
happen.
do today?
Yeah. So that's a good relationship to have.
But does it make her bananas if you don't care what she wants to do?
Well, no, I mean,
Have you just learned to care what she wants to do?
There is on occasion where I'm like, no, this like spur of the moment, something not planned out. I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna do this. Last week we were gonna go get crabs up on 54, and we were just ordering them by the dozen. And it's 20-minute wait, and we ordered another dozen, and then a crowd came in, and it's like, all right, well, we'll probably need one more dozen. And then it was just like we're just sitting there, and everybody else is done with all, kids are kind of getting restless, and it's just one of those things like that last dozen was the wrong mistake.
Right.
Like I didn't know it then, but I knew it pretty shortly after.
Yeah, too late to say never mind.
Yeah.
But not soon enough to prevent it from coming.
And then everybody started to get stuck in the suck,
Right, yeah.
And then it was like, all right, well, Jason's going to take the kids back, and Poppy's,
Yeah.
like, let's go see if they're, already started them. And then and then there was this tension. But the funny thing is, God love her, Natalie, she had made the decision, we're going to get this last dozen.
Right.
She was 100% on board with waiting for the last dozen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Well, and it's not only it could be that because I don't know if that's, but for me, I'm also take your medicine kind of person. Like,
Right.
You have to learn to live with your decision.
Yes.
Right? You made this decision. You gotta suck it up and live with it. I'm working on a story that I'll share more about, but it's coming up into August. I'm a baseball fan. I'm a Mets fan. I like the Mets. I don't know a lot about a lot of other teams. I don't know the inner workings. I can't remember, who was the home run king in 1984, but I really like the Mets. And the Mets aren't going to win the World Series this year. But I have to root for them until they're mathematically eliminated. Even until it's literally impossible for them to win. Only because twice in my lifetime it was literally impossible for them to win, and then they won.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's something that breaks you, and then you have to.
Yep.
You just have to live your whole life with that way.
I mean, you're talking to a Washington fan,
and as a result, you want to learn your lesson. So like I said, I'm going to watch the Mets until they're mathematically eliminated, and I am, and that's my punishment. If I don't want to do it, I have to say I don't want to do it in April. But once I started watching in April,
Right.
I have to be in because I made this arbitrary commitment to myself
Yep.
to follow this foolhardy thing
Yep.
again all the way through.
Oh, this is such my experience with the Redskins. So much so that I purposefully don't pay attention to what's going on in the postseason.
Yeah, obviously.
Or even preseason. Right? So it's just like, all right, week 1,
They're playing football.
they're playing football and I'm watching.
Yeah.
And they're going to break my heart every
year.
season, every year. But I have to do it. I don't know what it is. It's terrible.
So, and without dating it too much, last night was the Noah Syndergaard may or may not have going to be traded. Like there was still some question.
And that's
about
a
whether
Met
he was gonna be
player?
traded. He's a very famous Mets player. They call him Thor because his name is Noah Syndergaard and he's 7 feet tall and has long blonde hair. He doesn't.
And he carries a hammer.
You don't see him and say, "Oh, I wonder why they call him Thor."
Yeah.
Right? And so they were playing in Chicago.
Because it's the baseball season right now.
Oh, it's baseball season right now. But they were playing in Chicago, and my East Coast snobbery never comes out more than during baseball season. Because I feel like, now, this is offensive, and I apologize to everyone who lives west of Pennsylvania. But I feel like everyone in the Midwest has a blue-collar job, and they're off at 5 anyway. And no one in the Midwest and no one on the West Coast works at all.
Right.
So I don't see why we have to start baseball games any later than 7 o'clock Eastern time.
I think that's just science,
for
right?
the love of God, they start games at 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
in California. Well, I mean, it's 7 p.m. in California, but
Right.
like, those people didn't work. Like they have nothing to do in the morning.
They were just surfing.
And so Noah Syndergaard had a no-hitter through 4 innings, and I was exhausted.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't tell anybody why I wasn't going to bed because you can't say anything out loud.
That's the real thing.
And so I'm just walking around I'm like, either get a hit or don't get a hit. Like, please don't carry this into the 8th inning because I want to go to bed. And I know you're not going to throw a no-hitter.
Yeah.
But I need you to not throw a no-hitter starting now.
Yeah.
No, I think he took it into the 6th, and then I went to bed. And they didn't lose.
Hey, good for you.
Good for me.
Now, similarly, I a lot of times will stop watching a Skins game and they'll do well, which will at some point in the season, there's always my should I watch or shouldn't I watch?
Right.
Will they do better if I don't watch?
Well, yeah, because they're counting on you or not.
In recent years, that happens earlier and earlier in the season.
No, I think football does have one thing solved, which is they have a 1 o'clock and a 4 o'clock game.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not jealous of the people in California who get to start drinking at 10 a.m. so they can start watching football. You
Right.
know? But again, when they have a 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
9 o'clock is too late to start anything.
Yeah,
Damn it.
except dessert.
Get off my lawn. All right. Well, we're running up toward the end here. All sorts of fun for next week. So please make sure you tune in. Please make sure you subscribe if you're listening to this on, I don't know, on the bus. If the guy next to you is listening it too loud. And you're like, what is that? It's called Day Drinking on Delmarva. And you can just type that into iTunes.
Right.
And also stop listening to this guy's over his shoulder. Get your own iPhone.
Yeah, right.
But other than that, I got nothing. How about you?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, just remember, at the beach.
Happy hour is whenever you say it is.
Day Drinking on Delmarva with Todd DeHart and Tony Russo is produced weekly, mostly by dumb luck. You can join them Wednesday afternoons at Bethany Blues in Bethany Beach, Delaware, or find them online at daydrinkingondelmarva.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll check back in with you next week.